That's the biggest part of the credit I like to give him, that it has been seamless. I think everyone was concerned and worried what was going to happen to this group of players after Jurgen left. I think you've got to give immense credit for the people above in terms of the decision making. Tactically, he looks like he's very high level. The way he speaks to the media, the way he handles himself, has been perfect. Liverpool Football Club's a difficult club to play for, so I can only imagine what it's like to manage and lead. So I've got nothing but respect and praise, especially when I've been on this side of the fence as well. It's a tough job.
But Slot, because he's the absolute contradiction of Klopp in terms of his composure, his smoothness, his calmness, he just seems to be perfect in terms of what Liverpool needed this season. You've got to give it to everybody who appointed him, but also to the manager and the players. Then, when the manager comes in and he implements then his tactics and how he wants to play and how he's going to break down certain teams and things like that, then you go, okay, we really, believe that sometimes we've sat in meetings before games and you're just watching what he's saying and you're thinking, there's no way we're getting beat today. And that's the confidence I think he can give you with in terms of his tactics and things like that.
To come after a manager like Jurgen is not easy, I guess. But he's doing an amazing job as well. You could see how much he knows about football. Tactically, he's very good. He tries to be in every detail, and that's very important for us, as Jurgen was when he was here as well. So we are very happy with Arne. We are working very hard.
That's a title-winning coach. That's someone who knows that it's not just good performances. It's consistently being at it and staying at it and never coming off it.
I'm finding fantastic because we see that he wants to improve the players, and doing that, he's improving the team. So he's trying to take the best out of everyone and making us better. We were good before and we were great before at some time, but we get to a point that we needed to have this extra push, this new energy. He's bringing us not only energy but knowledge. You can see from the way we are playing now. So we have a big gap, I think, to reach our best.
Liverpool was early and Liverpool got a top solution in Arne Slot. I liked his football a lot. He played it with Rotterdam, so that's really good. Saw now the Sevilla game, the pre-season friendly.
At Anfield, yeah.
Yes, big parts of it were really good. And no, the league game, the second half was obviously really good. But it's not important that I like it. It's just you can see he's a very good coach.
I think the impact he's had is obviously there for all to see in terms of how he's adapted this team, tweaked them slightly. He's so authentic, I think, as a coach. As Rebecca said in the studio, he wasn't trying to emulate Jurgen Klopp, wasn't trying to follow in his footsteps. It was how can he imprint his own values, his own style. And I think he comes across to me as someone who's very sophisticated and subtle in the way they approach the players individually, approach the tactical side of the game, but he's also a pragmatist as well. He adapts to the situation. He's not just fixated by one way of playing. I think when you bring all that together, he's made every individual player perform at the highest level, and some above their level that we expected, like Curtis Jones or Gravenberch. Players like that have gone to another level, which is fantastic.
The biggest strength he has, for me, is less has been more. He hasn't come in and gone, right, this is what we do, we fly, we're going three at the back, we're doing... He's just gone in, he's looked at things very carefully and he's tweaked them. And the other thing I'll just point to is his man management. There's all talk about he has meetings with groups of players, individuals, he gets them on side. It's as though he's calmed things down in the dressing room and they're reaping the benefits of that.
He's been very clear with his ideas, how he wants us to play, how he wants us to defend. And, we do a lot of work, a lot of meetings, a lot of video that gets shown on things we're doing well, but obviously things that we have to improve as well. And I think everyone's enjoying it so far.
Watching Slot, I think, as a defender, you probably back me up on this. When I used to watch Liverpool under Klopp, they was outstanding, but they did give you a chance and that high line. Now, if you look at them now, they just go
stressful being a
yeah,
defender.
It was. I mean,
team.
when you're constantly running that way, it is difficult. Now they look a little bit more composed.
He talks really well as well, Arne Slot, doesn't he? There's nothing complicated about him. He's got the confidence without being arrogant. The Klopp questions were always going to be there, but the way he's handled everything going into Anfield, I think, has been so impressive, as has his team.
Brilliant by the manager to come in at a big club. Usually, as I say, people change things to make them look good. He didn't. He gone, you know what? Nothing's broke. I'm not going to try and fix it.
I think Arne Slot has rejuvenated the squad a little bit because I think it's new messaging, it's a new approach from, and I think the players have bought into it a lot. Obviously, the Dutch connection with Virgil as well would have transmitted that within the dressing room, made it very clear to the team how the manager would want them to go about their business. And I agree with Roy, the calmness of it. I think it's a completely flip side approach from how the managers are. I think Jurgen led with his heart, whereas Slot seems to almost more of a mental thing. But it's interesting because you wouldn't have anticipated it would happen so fast, that they would compete the way they are. So it's really impressive.
But for him to have his voice and put his mark on it from day one, you talked about in an earlier segment, the opening game, to be able to say, this is actually my team. That is where I've been so impressed with it, because how do you make this incredible team, who, by the way, plays a different style than the one that you actually want to play, and turn it around? These players understand one way to play football. He said, no, we're going to change some things. And normally that takes time. Normally that takes the better part of half a season at least. They hit the ground running, apparently preseason. He was on them every day, all day, and he got his word across, and his voice was the loudest.
I know we've said it many times, Arne Slot, but what an incredible start he's got. And he does seem to be able to turn the team when it's not quite playing.
He's done a wonderful job. He's charismatic, he's warm, he's articulate. I remember the game after Man United, the way he spoke about the tactics, the game plan. So much to admire about him. He hasn't tweaked too much, but there's been subtle differences, which we'll talk about. The players have taken to him, the fans have taken to him. I mean, he's surpassed all expectation from even the most ardent Liverpool fans and pundits. I never thought they're going to win this title this season. He's been absolutely terrific and deserves a lot of credit. And as I said, the balance between small tweaks and leaving the good things in place has been brilliant.
You're spot on about the personality. I think he was a man to manage the right personalities at the right time. Also, with his tactical nous, it just, seems like a great fit.
Yeah, I think I would concur with that. I mean, he's done a terrific job so far. It's hard to imagine anyone is going to stop them in the league this season.
But this guy's come in, he just said in his interview there, Jurgen Klopp left, but he left his squad behind, and he had left a really strong squad, and he's just gone and gone, you know what, I've got my fresh voice in the changing room and changed a few things, as we mentioned, and got it spot on.
He's doing okay, isn't he?
He's doing all right.
To be fair, yeah, obviously he came in a bit under the radar a little bit. There was probably no big expectations at Liverpool, obviously last summer, particularly when they didn't really get anybody in player-wise. You think of the first game of the season, the first half at Ipswich, if you said, listen, you're looking at the league champions here, you would have probably been locked up. So he's done brilliant. The players have reacted well. He's got a nice way about him. He's pretty honest, straight up.